For this tutorial, you are going to need tissue paper and an envelope. What we are going to do is cut the tissue paper to fit the envelope. I think a lot of times we make our cards and then we want to send them, but we leave the envelope kind of drab. So the tissue paper, by cutting tissue paper and gluing it or adhering it somehow to the envelope, is a great way to decorate the envelope. And it does not have to be really elaborate tissue paper either. I chose tissue paper because it doesn't add to the cost of the card. So it's really light, and if you have a heavy card and it may cost more than 44 cents to mail it, the tissue paper won't add to that. So it's a great way to decorate your envelopes. Even stamping a little sentiment or something of another on the outside flap is really cute. So let's go ahead and get started. The first step to your tissue paper, cutting your tissue paper, is to measure it. Okay, and I actually measure just a little bit smaller than the inside of my card, just because it seems to fit better if I do. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out like this, but we don't want to cover up the glue on the inside of the flap. So we're going to have to measure that so we can cut it down. So it does not have to be perfect at the top. Okay. Now, this little strip, and I'm going to use my mat to tell me, is a 1/4 inch thick. So you can use your ruler or whatever to measure it, but I tend to just put it over top. There's no perfect science for this, right? Believe me. And I just measure on the inside just by cutting it. Going ahead and cutting it. Okay. Now I go up, and then I cut down to meet my other mark where I cut. And if you notice that you still have too much tissue paper, cut it again. No one will be counting how many times you cut your tissue paper. So there is now our cut out tissue paper to match our envelope, and all we have left to do is stick it inside the envelope. You can adhere this in 2 ways. You can glue it or tape it. And I like to use my snail runner. You can use whatever method you want. I found that the snail method is a little bit more forgiving, and it doesn't get that really thick, bubbly residue on your card after you glue it. So I like that. So I'm going to put some adhesive right there at the top, and then a little bit at the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and fold this. Fold your tissue paper, and then fold your card on top. And see how I have a little bit of tissue sticking out? That's because when we folded it, it creased it. And I'm just going to cut that off. No worries. There. Yep, it's still hanging on. There we go. Okay, so there we go. We have our tissue paper in our card, and I would, just as some advice, I would pick tissue paper that matches your card. You know, the main color of your card. Tissue paper is really cheap. You can get it at any craft store or even Walmart or Kroger. So there's one. Another type of envelope that you can use is the flat seal envelope. So again, you're going to take your tissue paper and you're going to measure it. Just eye it. You can even flip it over. You're going to cut with the pattern paper facing, it's going to face away from the flap, the inside flap. You want to be able to see the pattern, unless you have double-sided pattern paper, or excuse me, tissue paper. This is a type that that's only colored on one side. So I would have to make sure that I cut it to where I can see the design on the inside of the card. So just keep that in mind. Cut. Okay, so you can flip that back over. And this one's simple because the glue strip's just right across the top. So that's about 1/4 of an inch wide too. So I'm just going to take that. And ta-da! Now insert. I forgot to cut it down. I like to cut mine down just so it slides in better, but you do not have to do that. See that little tiny strip? I mean, that's really nothing, but it makes all the difference when you insert it in your card. So. And I said card, I meant envelope. Okay. My dog is barking at me. His little bark is broken, his vocal cords. Okay, so you can add your adhesive, fold it down, your tissue paper down, then fold your card flap on top of it, and voila, you have a decorated envelope. So there you go, enjoy that. And another tip would be to use, if you have the wild card cartridge, Cricut cartridge, they give you the option of cutting out the inserts for your envelopes. Do it and have fun with it with some really cute pattern paper. So I will see you later. Have a great day and see you again. Thank you for watching another Creafty Creations with me. Bye.